Welcome to the Bull, the Bear, and the Ugly podcast, your no-nonsense guide to the markets. Subscribe, join the community, and get ready to dive into real talk and real market insights. Let's get started.
Hi everyone, I'm Stephen Kalayjian, and welcome to the Bull, the Bear, and the Ugly. Well, all I have to say, it was Christmas in September. Oh my God, what a day and a half. What a day and a half. The sell divergences, like I said to you last night, we had the 95, 98 overbought readings on the 60-minute time frame, but the 30 and the 60-minute time frames on the S&P futures did not confirm the highs. S&Ps were trading 65.41. I said I'd short the world. Avago trading after the earnings 357, 58, 59, and a drop. Boom. It dropped nearly 23 points, 24 points off the high. Microsoft trading 511, traded down to 493. Coinbase 314 traded down to 95, 96. We saw the S&P futures trade 65.41 all the way down to 64.52 and then rallied 50 points, about 40 points at the end of the day, selling here at the 64.87 level. You know, I told you the markets were really very overextended here. We did see gold pop here, but I'm still looking for a sharp pullback here in gold. Gold was up about 35. I am beyond. I told you September is going to be the month, maybe October, and who knows? You know, there's no guarantee that the fourth quarter you get that Santa Claus rally. Doesn't mean we can't get kabooshed into the fourth quarter. Remember, we rallied from 4,800 and change up to 65.41. That's 1,700 points practically. Okay, in the shortest period ever, one of the biggest gains ever in the history of the stock market. So, with that being said, we saw the names like Apple, unbelievable patterns here. The Russell was very strong here today, up about less than 0.5%. S&Ps down 4/10. The Nasdaq practically up small here, less than a 0.1%. Amazon KABOOSH down 4. AMD down 11. NVDA down 4.5. I said this morning when the S&P futures were trading at the 65.41, I said, where's this market going to go if NVIDIA can't get going, Microsoft can't get going, and AMD can't get going? And literally 10 minutes later, boom, S&Ps dropped 10, down 20, down 30, down 40, down 50, and all the way down to 64.52. So the S&P futures at one point were down about 55, 60 points on the S&P. I'll show you the sell divergences. It really was a magnificent day here for our community of traders. The sell divergences, and then when the 30-minute time frames reversed to sell. So I knew that there was a great short pattern. The 15-minute time frames, the bear flags, the bear flag on one pattern on the S&Ps went up to the 64.85, all the way down to 64.65. Dropped 20 on that bear flag on the 15. But overall, when the 15-minute time frames reversed to buy, pretty much at the lows we're in for the day, especially on the spiders and on the diamonds towards the end of the day, and the QQQs here. The Qs reversed to buy right around 315. Beautiful little bull flag at the end of the day. And you saw the double blue and the rally up from 575 to 576 on the Qs. NASDAQ rallied roughly about 40 points there, 50 points. So today, like I said, was a great day. I love these economic numbers. I love these economic numbers, especially like we have about 8 every month. Employment, CPI, PPI, durable goods, retail sales, housing starts. Well, I'm missing 2. I'm so tired. Retail sales, and I think there's one more. But again, you got 22 business days in the month, 7 or 8 big red numbers at 8:30. Then we had the ISM number at 10, and that really didn't matter. But let me just show you what I want to show you here. If you can see here earlier this morning, and this is why I was calling the shorts here, and I'll just move this GEV out of here. If you look here, and I'll just bring up the S&P futures, you can see here the new highs here. Okay, you're making new highs here. Look at this, 41. Look at this, the guy who bought 41.75s, he jumped. Okay, and you can see when you're making new highs here, like this right here, you can see that the MACDs, this is nothing but sell divergences in a positive trend, right? And then we got absolutely kabooshed. I was scalping longs here like crazy. This is the bear flag on the 15-minute time frame. The first bounce right here, this little bear flag right here into the negative MACDs. Now the algorithm did reverse to buy, so again there was a good chance that the lows, this low here, 52 on the S&P, was going to hold. Here was 64. And then you can see how we just drifted higher here towards the end of the day. The most important thing here is that the 30-minute time frames on the spiders reverse to sell. Okay, right here. So what I'm looking for, and I'll get into what I'm looking for on Monday. But again, when we got the 30-minute reversing to sell, and it correlated with the 15-minute time frame on the S&Ps here. That was the first short right here. This is the first short right here. And then when the algorithm reversed to buy, it correlated with the 60-minute time frame. So now you go into a buy disconnect, and this was the nice short, the nice long here. That was right here. This is the first bear flag right here when the 15s reversed. And then you got this pullback right here, 644.76, and you can see the S&Ps ran about 25 off that. So again, basically, it was a great day there on the index futures. Again, I still believe, if you're looking at the bigger time frames here, that this is the weekly. The weekly hasn't even rolled over yet. Wait till that happens. Look at the monthly here. The monthly, look at this, how overbought you are on a monthly. This is insane. Huge bear flag on the monthly. And if you look here on the daily, well, guess what? You pushed up here the new highs. Even the daily, the MACDs couldn't confirm the new high on the index futures. So the market had nothing but sell divergences here. And then again, you look at this monster bear flag. This is a monster bear flag right here. And then you got the gap here. That's 6. Look at this gap here. And then the real big gap right here comes in. This is the one gap here. This is the 6,200 level, 6,190. And then you got the big gap here, 60 right here, 60.50 on the S&P. And then the big gap here is a 5,600 gap. They'll have that's 900 points lower. They'll have a heart attack if that happens. But again, I'm very bearish here. Again, for me, I think the downside outweighs the upside here. I think gold is going to outperform. The daily reverse to buy on the gold. I'm looking for a sharp pullback, and then a push up to 3,700, keep making higher lows, ultimately get to 3,850, 39, and then ultimately over 4,000. That would be unbelievable, seeing 4,000 gold. And I think that's in the cards in the next 4 to 6 months. Like I said, NVDA, major problems here in NVIDIA, off the highs of almost 185. NVIDIA bounced off that 165 level a bunch of times. I actually was trading below that, like the 164 level. I'm going to show you probably the best long stock on the day. I hate to say it, okay, was MSTR here. If you look at MSTR, it reversed to buy on the 15-minute time frame, and it correlated here. You can see MSTR reverses into buy on the 30-minute right here. It had this little bull flag here, and then look at the 60-minute time frame on MSTR reversing to buy at 230. And what do you look to do? Well, you start taking longs on the 5. Here's one long and here's two long. MSTR after the 60-minute time frame reversing, you can see here at 33, boom, that's $3 here, boom, 34 all the way up. So you could have made probably, I don't know, between $4 to $5 on the long on MSTR. Other than that, the Russell was very, very strong here today. The IWMs, again, you can see the Russell very strong here on the 15. When the algorithm reversed to buy with the MACD negative above the pivot, this was a great short here. Okay, these were shorts. Again, the algorithm reversing to buy, overbought into the negative MACD. These were shorts here, and then ultimately got the 15-minute time frame on the pullback, 236.16 on the Russell, and it just pushed up here about $1.80. Other than that, there was really, to be honest with you, other than that, Bitcoin closed up about 1,000 points. Other than that, it was just really, really slow. And looking at Tesla, we had some really great shorts. I'll show you this. I'll show you this Microsoft early this morning. Microsoft when it pushed up this morning here. So look at this push up here on Microsoft. It traded. I was shorting. I was shorting everything. Avago, and I was looking at Coinbase, about to short that, and I was about to just say short Microsoft here. Look at this Microsoft pushing up into a negative MACD here. Okay, pushing up into a negative MACD, and look at this move. Look at this move. 511. Look at this. It dropped 20 points. I'm sorry. It dropped 12, almost 12 points in one single 15-minute bar. That's insane off a sell divergence. And then obviously, let's look at the 30-minute time frame. You can see here, Microsoft pushing up here. Again, the MACDs could not confirm on the 30-minute. I knew that. And then obviously, this is the short on the 15 right here into the negative 497. Got absolutely kabooshed, $5. So when you see a negative MACD like that, rising ADX, and you know that the trend is negative on the 15, 30, and 60, and then you get this overbought condition into this negative MACD, you got one thing to say: let them have them. Let them have them, right? And then look at the ADX rising here as well on the 30-minute. Look at the ADX rising here on a 60. Look at these negative MACDs. Where's Microsoft going, right? And this is the short right here, like I said. Beautiful, 497, and boom, it got, ultimately, it did push down to new lows, dropped about anywhere between $3 to $5. But again, these patterns today were absolutely amazing. MSTR, Microsoft, spiders. Again, like I said, when you see Avago trading and it drops $23, $24, I was shorting the highs in the pre-market, and I blinked and it was trading 351 and then never looked back. Unbelievable move in Avago. Let me just see where it opened here. I was showing in the pre-market. Let's see where it opened here. Oh my God, 56. I was short 57, 58, 59, I believe. And then look at this, got absolutely slaughtered here, and then pushed up here about 9 points off the oversold condition. When you see this pattern here on the 15, you got that deep oversold condition here. You could have taken along with the negative, with the positive MACD on the deep oversold condition. That's why Avago had this little bounce here of about $6 on Avago. All right. When I get back, I will tell you what I expect for Monday. All right. So for Monday, I'm exhausted. I think we're going to get a 30-minute retracement here. You're getting overbought into the negative MACDs, and I'll show it to you here. If you look here on the spiders, okay, the 60s are still cupping up here. But if you look at the 30-minute, you can see the 30-minute time frame getting overbought into the negative MACDs here. And here's the 60-minute time frame. I say that the market, this is what kept the market. The 60-minute time frame did not reverse to sell today on the spiders or the Qs or the Russell. And so even if you look at the Qs on the 60-minute time frame, you can see here that the yellow dots right here, when you got the push down here, 571.53, that the yellow dots did not confirm. You can see the yellow dots did not confirm the low here. Okay, you can see the yellow dots very, very strong. They're nowhere near looking like they were going to reverse here. That's why the NASDAQ rallied the way it did off the lows. Again, that's something I noticed. And if you look here on the 15-minute time frame, you can see the sharp drop, the deep oversold here. Again, you can see the 60-minute time frame oversold into the positive MACDs, and that buy divergence off the 60-minute time frame on the spiders and on the S&P really is what kept the market from absolutely crashing. That's why when the markets were trading on the lows, a bunch of times I probably called, 15, maybe 10 to 15 longs in and out. But ultimately 52 up to 85, dropped down to 74, 71, and rallied back up to 87, 88, dropped. But I knew once those 15-minute time frames reversed and they correlated with the 60-minute time frames, I knew that the lows were in for the day. So for Monday, I'm thinking one more push up here if we get it. And if we do get kabooshed, well, the key number here is to see if the spiders can hold the 15-minute time frames, which the Qs reverse to buy, the diamonds reverse to buy. All four ETFs are bullish on the 15 and the 60-minute time frames. The key for this market to head lower is if these 60-minute time frames reverse to sell. To give you a number, Qs 570 and 25. Well, that's almost $6 away. And then spiders 644.39. Well, that's probably 30 handles away. S&Ps would have to close below the 64, 55, 53 level. All right. When I get back, I want to share some really good news and something we're going to be doing starting Monday night. All right. So Monday night, My Funded Futures is going to be sponsoring 2 weeks. I just got off the phone with them. 2 weeks of live trading in the Tokyo Asian session, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, from 8 to 10. So this is absolutely free. So I'll be doing videos and sending out links. This is a great time. Again, if you're trading your own capital, the margin requirements during that night session, very, very high. So if you're looking to trade a prop account like My Funded Futures, there's no margin. It's a great session. Gold is unbelievable, and we just really look at gold and S&Ps. Last night, I think there were like 2 or 3 gold S&P trades, and I think there was like 7 or 8 gold trades. Normally, it starts off slow, but within the next 30 minutes, and then 9 o'clock when the Chinese market opened, gold shot up and then dropped. But again, it really is a great opportunity to learn how to trade. The night session, and especially those of you who cannot be present during the day, or if you live on the West Coast, it's only 5 o'clock. So it's a great opportunity, and I'm really looking forward to really hitting the ball out of the park. And I'll be sending out the link, and hopefully you all can join me. Again, My Funded Future is going to be sponsoring next week and the week after, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, from 8 to 10, the Asian Tokyo session. All right. With that being said, thank you for joining me tonight here on the Bull, the Bear, and the Ugly. Okay. Thank you for joining me today on the Bull, the Bear, and the Ugly. Please come and join my community traders from around the world at sktrading.live. If you'd like to follow me on social media, please follow me on official Stephen Kalayjian on X, Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. Also, if you'd like to contact me, you can reach out to me on my cell phone, 914-500-7484. It's Friday, and guess what? We survived. We had a great day today, great week, and I'm just proud of everybody in my community. With that being said, enjoy each and every second. God bless you, and more importantly, God bless the United States of America. See you Monday.
Thanks for tuning in to the Bull, the Bear, and the Ugly podcast, your no-nonsense guide to the markets. If you enjoyed today's episode, be sure to subscribe at sktrading.live. We'd love for you to rate, review, and join our community for more real talk and market insights. Until next time, keep trading and stay sharp.